Hey there, Bo family, and welcome back to another video of Battle of Warships. Today's video is intended for the Mahan event that we're hosting in our forum, for which you will find a link to the description below. So please go check it out. It's a lot of fun. The Mahan event is the third of the three events that we're hosting for June, and in July there is the Sovereign event coming up. So please check it out and submit your replay through the forum. Now, this is a replay sent to me by Diesel80. Do you remember in my last video when I briefly introduced Diesel80 and how he's an expert destroyer and cruiser captain? Yep, this is Diesel80 and this is his replay for the Mahan event. Now, before I go into his battle, I want to talk about the map in which he's actually having his match. This map is a quite controversial one, and there's a lot of people, and that at some point included me too, who believed that this map shouldn't exist, like they should wipe it off the face of the earth, and it's literally like the most inappropriate map to actually have a battle in. And to be honest, it only favors a battleship, and in that case it only favors the good battleships, not even like battleships like the, I don't know, the Bismarck or the Jersey. If you have a lot of firepower in your battleship, which is usually the Yamato, Montana, Missouri and the Musashi, then you're good to go. But for ships such as carriers or even destroyers and cruisers who don't have so much firepower in their ships, it's a very difficult map to cope with, because until you get at the point where you're covered behind the rocks, which is essential for some ships, especially the carriers, I mean, most of your health will be taken away. I mean, it's the distance from your opponents at which you start the game is already super close. It's within 6 kilometers. So I mean, until you get cover and you're in a carrier and there's a Yamato or a Montana pointing their turrets at you and firing at you, well, I mean, you're pretty much dead. So yeah, I mean, for some weird reason, even though I told you that destroyers are also not very well at an advantage in this map, I mean, for me and apparently for Diesel as well, and for Indian Navy, who also submitted one of his videos in this map, it has worked very well. So yeah, I didn't actually continue supporting my statement as far as the destroyers are concerned, because for some weird reason it just works for us. So back to our battle. Diesel is doing the exact correct thing that he has to do in this fight, which is to go around the middle of the map, and he should not actually be found between, because in that case he would be found in a crossfire between the left and the right side of the opponent's teams, because they have split in two, and it's the correct thing to do. In this map, you should never concentrate all your ships, all 7 or 6 or 5 ships, in the middle of the map, because the other team is going to see that very easily, and they're just going to annihilate your team within like 1 or 2 minutes. In this case, Diesel has also actually picked the correct group of opponents to attack. It's 2 sovereigns and a Gulfster, if I'm not mistaken, and it should be a walk in the park. I mean, for a black flagged Mahan with full health and full upgrades and all, it's just the easiest thing to actually go up against these 3 ships. I've shown you how to actually deal with multiple targets at a time in a Mahan, and Diesel is doing the exact right thing right now. He's maneuvering around the Sovereign until his torpedoes have reloaded, and it's the thing that I told you about the height of the turrets of bigger ships in comparison to the whole height of your ship and your destroyer. And yeah, he's it's amazing how he does it. I've told you that he just understands exactly how destroyers work. Now, as you can see, the other group which was found at the right of the map of the opponents, they have actually managed to take out the team of Diesel's teammates that were going up against them. So the battle has shifted to the left of the map slowly. Now, Diesel, it's easy to point fingers at someone and say that in case he should have done that, in the other case he shouldn't have done that. But in the rush of the moment, and you may be nervous, and you may actually be so concentrated on something that you haven't noticed the situation that you've put yourself in. But if Diesel had actually fired the third remaining set of torps at that sovereign he just took out, a few shots from his turrets would have done, like, they would have killed the sovereign, and he would have enough time to hide behind the island he's trying to hide behind right now. And then the Iowa and the other Mahan that is firing at us right now, they wouldn't have actually gotten hits on Diesel, and quite a bit of his health would be saved. But as I told you, it's very easy to just start saying he should have done that, and just give advice like that, pointing out certain, not even mistakes, it's just that other alternatives which could have ended up better than what actually happened. But yeah, it's so difficult to think of exactly the right thing to do during a match, because all of the action is happening and you may not actually see it. I mean, you're already concentrating on firing at a target that you may not understand what has to be done exactly at that moment. And now we have reached the point where he's in a 1v3, and that includes a Fletcher, a Mahan, another Mahan, and an Iowa. And the Iowa is at a pretty good position with his health. I mean, it's less than halfway through his health, but generally that's not much of a problem for battleships when they go up against destroyers, because what happens often is that the full health of the destroyer will most likely be equal to half of the health of the battleship. So yeah, that doesn't pose so much of a threat to the battleships. However, in this case, it's Diesel we're talking about, and it's a 25 level Iowa that we're talking about. Certainly this battle that he's having right now against the Mahan in this 1v1 shouldn't be much of a problem. As I can see, the Mahan hasn't even upgraded his guns. He has the old guns that are already existing in every Mahan that you will buy. And yeah, you can see what an effect Diesel's turrets have on the opposite Mahan with only 2 shots at a time. Okay, now it's 4, but yeah, he's going to die pretty soon. But a very weird thing is happening right now, where the Mahan has actually probably disconnected from the game, so there's this transportation type of thing, and that happens, and no damage is actually reported, and he's doing it multiple times. But the thing I haven't realized about this is whether the pilot of the enemy Mahan is actually playing in the same game, or if he has gone in an AI battle. Anyway, we don't care. I mean, Diesel has managed to take care of the Mahan, and now he's at 6 kills with 500k health, which in a bit is going to be even more than my high score, which also happened in this match. It's 6 kills and 560k health. So yeah, I mean, what he's done so far is amazing. And right now, as many of you destroyer captains will know, he's doing the exact correct thing that he has to do, because he's going up against an Iowa. He's briefly showing his broadside to the ship in order to fire his 4 shots at the Iowa, and then turns around so that the Iowa is facing the back of his ship instead of the broadside, because this allows him to have less chance of being hit by the turrets of the Iowa, because they have a certain dispersion, and yeah, it's just less likely to hit him if he's showing either the back or the front of his ship to the Iowa. One thing I've noticed in Diesel's replay in this case, and in other replays that he has sent me, is that although he has a ton of repair consumables to use for his ship, he's not using them constantly. And some people are gonna say that's bad, some people are gonna say that's good. In my case, I would say that if you have 337 repairs in this case, I mean, you shouldn't be willing to use all of them in one match. Not only because of the money that you lose, because the in-game currency, because it does cost a lot of in-game currency to buy these repairs, but it's also a bit unfair to the opposite player, who, okay, he may be a new player, so he hasn't gathered so much money, or he may just, there are some players, and I'm usually included in this, that just don't like using 20 repair kits at a single match, because it stops being realistic at some point, and you can just go hide behind an island if you have a destroyer for, I don't know, let's say 1 or 2 minutes, and use your repairs, and all your health will be taken away, will be restored, and you can just go back in the battle. So it's basically like not even taking damage anymore. So what I do is just supply my ship with at most 10 repairs, and I'm not even using all 10 repairs in a single match. It's only usually like 5. And yeah, that's what Diesel has done in this fight. In the beginning, he did save up a lot of repairs. He didn't use them with the first salvo that he was attacked with, but right now he has to do it with the Iowa, because he's also using repairs at this moment, and yeah, he has to keep on repairing his ship. A mistake he's doing right now is show his broadside to the Iowa, which you can all understand that it's a bad idea, because, well, he's taking all the shots from it. And look at this, look at the torps that are about to hit him and finish the match. Yeah, that actually happened. The torps ran out of time, they didn't hit him, the Iowa actually managed to kill him, and this happened. 6 kills and 700k health. An amazing effort by Diesel. The audio was not removed from this video only because of my voiceover, but also from Diesel's talking in this part of the video. It's not so nice. Diesel, thank you very much for your replay, and I hope I receive more and more of your videos. They're amazing, and it's a pleasure to actually comment on them. So that was it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you very much.